life has been a countryman's delight, drifting through watercolours that haven't changed for 1,000 years, responsible for the 6 miles of the Hampshire Avon, formed by 5 rivers running off the chalk of Wiltshire, flowing into the sea at Christchurch. In my younger years, it used to be a thrill to wear an aqualung, and in the clear, fast-flowing stream observe the underwater life. I'd watch insects swept down from their precarious hold to waiting fish. Most of us have our likes and dislikes, and the chub comes low on my list, for its appetite extends to all river life. But a shoal of roach, bright-eyed and red-finned, come close to the top. They are a delight to the eye, even though their life is often shortened by the predatory pike. Minnows are a fish in their own right, not the young of other fellows. They're gatherers of small morsels, and in turn they are gathered by almost every fish that swims. I liken them to fish fingers on the hoof. I always think the inquisitive perch is magnificent. Dorsal fin erect, like gun dogs of the underwater world, nosing into the weed in search of unwary minnows. When I first go underwater, it's the perch that's first to investigate. What's in it for me attitude to the disturbance.
Tom knows his fish well, not just their names, but their ways. They indicate the health of the river and the change of its seasons. The clarity of the autumn water reveals the now sunken river weed. The ducks that have merely rested on the river by day gather before moving to spend the night stubbling in the new-cut cornfields. Longford Bridge, the first to cross the Avon below Salisbury, leads to the home of the Earls of Radnor, Longford Castle, an ancient estate with a centuries-old record of good management, to which Tom has added his own effort and skills.
Now, in this clear water river time, you can see what last winter's floods have left you as a present. Water-filled oil drums, dead sheep, even strangers to the watershed, carp, bream and the occasional goldfish. These are roach and dace. The engine on this boat is Mike Trowbridge, who started his river keeping with me when only 15, and, with a break in the Marines, has been with me ever since. Ospreys follow the north-south path of the Avon on their migration from Scandinavia or Scotland to their winter home in Africa. I love those feet, anticipating a future meal. He appears a little inexperienced. Must be a young bird, for I don't think an adult would have been empty-clawed. He flies off into the mists of autumn, with the river gaining in power from late summer rains.
the hidden turbulence stirs the mud, colouring the water and encouraging the restlessness of eels on the verge of their migration. They wait for the dark side of the moon and this cloak of coloured water before slipping away towards the distant ocean. In a river, fish are always on the move. It's a highway up and down the valley. This eel follows a path leading from the chalk hills of Marlborough to the deep Atlantic. But like many, it may not reach the mouth of Tom's River, as eels have great value as a seasonal crop.
On this night of nights when eels are on the move, flood hatches are closed and the eel trap hatches are opened so that the water is fed into a giant colander. The trap sieves eels and other debris, descending with the coloured water. To a river keeper, it is fishing on a large scale. You never know what's coming into the eel trap next. Could be anything from a long dead sheep, or as happened in the past, something even more gruesome. But tonight, it's just a lot of eels. Eels from the Avon average £2, though some of £5 or £6 do appear. But river keepers are no different from fishermen in their inclination to exaggerate. The trap upstream was boasting of catching 10 or 11 pound eels, and we in turn tell the story of catching an oil lamp which was still alight. We agreed that if they halved the size of their eels, we would blow out the lamp. The eels are diverted from their normal migration to travel live to the jellied eel and pie shops of London.
Some eels do continue downriver on their October migration, and on the way pass salmon, still with the silver of the sea on their flanks, moving upstream to spawn.
They aren't very obvious at first, but a consummate eyes have the ability to see through the surface film, something that some townsfolk find difficult. See how gentle a swim it is for them to take a small weir as they move to the shallow, fast-flowing stretches to dig their spawning beds in the loose gravel. And because this place is vulnerable, wires are stretched across to hinder the poachers. Lack of vigilance in the past means many salmon have ended up in the surrounding villages, eaten with chips, and why not? For when a countryman is hungry, the river provides.